I'm here in a laneway outside Love Tilly Devine talking to the talented Shaun Munday and Elle Clouston. It's good to talk to you guys. They're from Place Design Group and Elle, you've just moved to Sydney. How are you finding it at the moment?
I love Sydney. It has got so many diverse little places to go to and cool bars to check out, and it's keeping me very busy.
Yeah. And what are some exciting projects happening for Place Design Group at the moment, Shaun?
We're doing stuff all over the place. So lot of work in China, but where the action seems to be is down here in Sydney at the moment.
Yeah.
It really is. So not being a Sydney person, Melbourne, Brisbane is where I'm from. It seems to be a lot of changes here in Sydney.
Yeah. And what are you seeing? What kind of changes are you seeing happening at the moment?
I think there's a change in attitude in Sydney. Yeah, there's a real change in attitude. Government are playing a little role in that, but I think it's a sort of groundswell of people who are making the changes in Sydney at the moment. So that's what's exciting down here.
Place Design Group, you guys are quite innovative in how you approach products. Where do you think that innovation comes from, or where do you think that inspiration to kind of look at new projects?
I think it's very much about we understand the commercial viability of projects and realise that you have to look at the cumulative impacts of different planning provisions, I suppose, in a very planning jargon sense. But working out what are the best outcomes and making sure you're getting just the best outcomes and everything else is a second to that, rather than trying to put everything on a project.
And I think we start them from scratch. That's how every project starts from scratch. You start from a baseline and you build upon it. It's not this template of everything else that you've done. You've got all these other great experiences, but you do start each project from scratch. It's really important.
So that's where the magic happens?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. And I think that's where you get the best collaboration of people, because you all bring your experience to a new project with a new challenge and some new opportunities. So
yeah,
that's where it's exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And Elle, you've done a lot of work in the activation kind of placemaking sphere. How would you define placemaking, and what do you think is kind of the benefits of looking at that and incorporating that into long-term strategies?
I definitely think activation needs to be put more on the forefront of planning, and it needs to be driven by more outspoken people willing to put their hand up and take the risk and say, yes, this implementation strategy will work, and trying to translate those short-term activations into long-term pop-up parks or street markets that happen annually. And I think there's a big opportunity, particularly in Sydney, with their or smaller centres and village atmosphere, to get those pop-up parks and things happening more regularly.
Yeah, awesome. A little bit different to Brisbane. Sydney's kind of makeup of councils and organisations. And Shaun, last question. Where's the future of Place Design Group?
Place Design Group.
Yeah, where are you guys heading, and what are you doing?
We keep doing what we're doing. I think we continue to explore ideas that come from outside Australia. So, and there's enormous growth that we all know that's happening in China, but in Southeast Asia and elsewhere. So those influences are coming home to roost here in Australia, and we need to understand how to interpret those in our own circumstance. So that's where it's going to be exciting, because it is going to be a real balancing act to capture Australia at the same time.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me, and looking forward to seeing where Place Design Group goes in the future. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Shaun. Thanks very much.